Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices. Paranormal Evidence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. I am looking at Ron.
In his tinfoil hat.
Listen, Rathman's not getting away with keeping secrets, right? He did it on a show. He exposed how he gets his voices. He's got a tinfoil hat, he's got a pager, and he's got a satellite dish somewhere nearby. I'm on it.
We forgot the satellite dish. I forgot to bring it to you.
That's a much better tinfoil hat than mine, though. So I may.
Oh, I don't know about that. You have the premier hat.
He has the point. Do you have the point?
You get the point?
No, I don't have matching glasses either. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's so I can also see the ghost. Just when you thought the maturity level couldn't go any lower. There it
Tune
is.
in next week.
So I'm Ron, this is Lourdes, that's Chris, that's Sheree, that's Tony. They're the adults, I'm probably not so much.
Oh, no, we're not. You're just more prominent on the show about it than we are.
Okay. Guilty.
Unfortunately, Audra could not be here. She's been fighting a migraine for 2 days. So.
Oh, no.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I thought she's preparing for how long? Two weeks?
She's cleaning, preparing for you guys to clean.
Yeah.
We miss you, Audra.
Yes, we do. She probably is cleaning though.
I
With a migraine.
She's curled up in a
No, I know. Migraines
Migraines
are tough, especially when they last for days. Forget about it.
Yeah, she went to bed at 5:30 last night, barely made it through work today, and she's been in bed since.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hope you feel better soon, darling.
Yeah.
There we go. Share the show.
Oh, you found it?
I found it. So welcome to our viewers out of the awkward silence that I probably.
I know. I thought we were frozen. I was like, what's
I
going
probably
on?
helped create a little bit.
Oh, Don Phillips.
No, it's Jim Axis.
Right, but he's talking about Don Phillips.
Everett. Everett's going to be my bodyguard, especially with the helmet. I'm going to need it.
That was awesome. For those of you wondering what Everett meant by that, is Ron posted a new profile pic on Facebook, and his pose makes his guns, Arnold Schwarzenegger's, jealous. It's like, damn, cut back on the juice, Ron.
Yeah. I'm like Schwarzenegger without all the money, success, looks, size, height. Stop me when I'm wrong. Charisma.
I don't know if Arnold Schwarzenegger has ever been accused of looks and charisma. So
you know what he doesn't have? He doesn't have this.
That's right.
He doesn't have Rathman's secret. I have it.
That's right.
You can laugh, but those things work.
I know.
They do.
I know. That podcast, by the way, might be back up. FYI.
I saw it a couple of days ago. Yep.
That's what she said. And I did not get to see the exciting second half.
Wait a minute.
But I might now.
Are we talking about the one I think we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which one?
I know.
The
tinfoil
hat one.
The one
That's what made me think of it.
Yeah, it's the one where Tony communicates with spirits via toaster.
Right.
That's what made me think of that. That's why I was like, I got to do something tonight to start the show different again. I haven't done it in a while. And then she's like, oh, that show is back up. I was like, oh, there it is.
Okay, good to
What was our
know.
Photoshop? Scott wants to know if you photoshopped your pose, Ron.
If it was Photoshop, I'd have made myself taller first.
His hair would have been hitting the top of the photo of the picture.
Yeah, exactly.
So, did you guys do anything fun last weekend?
No,
We did, and we cleaned the house. Not to steal Audra's thunder, because we know that's kind of her thing now. We cleaned. Yeah, we had to do some cleaning. We took it easy. Spent time with my son. Worked on project stuff a little bit again. Not a lot. May's going to be crazy. She's got a trip coming up, and then we have our trip to come see you guys coming up, and then we're going to the Conjuring house. It's all in May.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to Florida for my daughter's graduation.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Sorry you have to go to Florida for that. Congratulations.
Yeah.
We did a little cleaning. We did
I worked
laundry. Yeah, she was working overtime all weekend long.
all weekend.
I did some editing on Datacom DRV and added a couple of new sections, moved some things around.
Fixing your hack Facebook.
Yes. Oh, yes. And for anybody wondering why, if I disappeared as your friend, I lost about 4,700 friends. My Facebook got hacked. I cannot get it back. Facebook is absolutely no help. So there's a new Tony Rathman, but I was able to access the site via my phone. I couldn't get in. It's only because my phone was never logged out. So I put up, this site's been hacked all over it. And so if you see that one, don't touch it. Look for the other Tony Rathman, and that's my new one.
Yes.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
So he put it there.
Did you put those pictures that said you've been hacked? You put those up?
I put.
I thought that was the hacker who did it. I went, man, that's really brazen.
No, the strangest thing about them is they haven't, at least when I had access to it, they didn't send out any messages. They didn't, I don't know what. Hello, Jim. So I couldn't control anything. I couldn't delete it. So I thought, well, I'm going to put up it's been hacked. Yeah. And then Facebook kept contacting me saying, friends reported someone's impersonating you. I'm like, you idiots. I've been sending you emails for the last 4 days. It's not me anymore. Somebody else. So delete it. But no, they still haven't touched it.
Hey guys, FYI. Yeah. That is Krista Cesare.
Where?
Aww.
Facebook user?
The Hello Party people. And Carrie said hello, Facebook user too.
Oh.
Hi, Chris and Carrie.
So quickly to move on with the show, for anybody watching, if you don't know Krista Cesare, the ghost boy of Geneseo, he's got a we're allowed to say it now, right? He's got a show coming out.
I think so.
If not,
I'm not going to say where. I'm not going to say because I don't want to jeopardize it. So let me just say it rhymes with Fetlix. And that.
You don't know what that is, Chris?
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Okay.
One of the most wonderful people in the paranormal and probably in any community he's in. Just a fantastic guy. He inspired how we process the ending of our lecture presentations, the takeaway message that we've talked about with the digital seance. People will go watch him speak over and over and over again because he knows how to connect with people, unlike anybody you've probably seen. So the fact that he's watching is very cool. So if you're having a chance to work with him or talk to him, look for that opportunity.
Yep, we met him last year at Gettysburg Bash, and he is a fantastic dude. Really good dude.
Yeah, I got to speak with him there that night. It was just, I would do that anytime I got the chance to do that again. So
he's just a great guy, great personality. Yeah.
And speaking of great people, go ahead, Tony.
Sorry, Ron. Courtney, that wouldn't have anything to do unless you're watching on my new Tony Rathman page, which is fine. I believe it's being broadcast there. But you actually have to give StreamYard permission to show your name. It's got nothing to do with my site.
Oh, that's Chris. Thank you for the comments. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He is awesome. Yeah, he's a life changer. Like when you meet him, if you spend any time with him, something about your life has to change because he's just that impactful of a person. So
yeah.
So there's that. And speaking of impactful people, so we don't meander too much.
Right.
On this show before, You've heard us say the words, and I quote, Trinity Paranormal. Tonight we say those words again. Chris, tell them why. Tell them why, Chris. Tell them why.
Because our guest tonight is the co-founder of Trinity Paranormal Investigations of Long Island. Did I say that right? Did I get the accent right?
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good.
That was good. Everybody say hello to Kat Maria.
Oh,
There she is.
Hey.
There she is.
Welcome.
I like
back.
that hat. I like that hat, Ron. I didn't know you were going to.
I didn't either, but I bet if I put a sweep circuit on this thing, I could sell it to Nuara.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? Can you bring that to the next meet when we meet up and investigate?
Chris Nuara is one of her teammates on Trinity Paranormal. He's got this upbeat, positive kind of enthusiasm. Like every time he gets something, he's excited.
Yeah.
Like that's how you should be about doing this stuff. He's not like trying to impress people. He's just like, wow, did you hear that? Listen to this. It's really cool.
That's Chris. Yeah.
Yep. Great energy. Great guy.
He was going to jump on tonight, but he's working, so he should be in and out. But he's doing late night security. And guess what? It's a place that used to be a hotel, and he's getting them. It's everywhere he goes. He's getting them. He's getting them. So we did some late night investigations there already. Via he had me on I guess like a FaceTime. And he did a walkthrough, and I was like, "Oh, okay. They just don't leave you alone."
No.
Yeah.
No, that's
All right,
very
so
cool. Tell
our guests that haven't been watching the show and not paying attention because they haven't been cool up until this point. What you do with Trinity and how you got started in the paranormal, Cat.
Okay. What I do with Trinity really is I go. We're a little different. We don't really hunt ghosts. That's not really. And I have nothing against that. That's just not really why I do this. We go where there's complaints. We do mostly private residentials, but obviously we'll visit places also where there's complaints, and try to find out why and if they're okay. That's pretty much what we do. And the reason I got started in the paranormal is because I have, even as a little girl, I guess it's clairaudient. I can hear things, and of course, you shut your mouth as a kid because you'll just be called crazy. And I also get these flash visions that sometimes they don't make sense, but they're really starting to on our cases now. That's actually what made Courtney become an investigator, because she was just going to do what she does. And then, we documented a lot of the flash visions, especially with this young lady. I think she gave you a clip of it, what's going on with that, who was unfortunately murdered. And a lot of the flash visions that I was saying, that made no sense to me. When we inadvertently found who this girl was by default, we were actually looking up evidence to disprove a lot of the folklores when she came up. And Courtney was ringing my phone at 3 a.m, and I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me right now?" And it almost was like, "Bitch, pick the phone up now." And okay, what's going on? And it panned out almost to the T. The only difference was one of the flash visions I had was unfortunately a body wrapped in a sheet with blood. I saw somebody finding it. I didn't know who. I was saying a tarp, and it was a sheet. I was saying a white tarp, and it turned out to be a sheet. And it just like So there's validation for me too, because living with that is very frustrating. I remember when Chip Coffey put the show out with the little kids, how he would at least give them some kind of, and I was on Twitter a long time back, and I said to Chip Coffey, I needed a Chip Coffey, and he actually acknowledged to the time, like, why didn't we have a Chip Coffey when we were kids? Because it's pretty stifling and does make you feel a little crazy. Mm-hmm. So I went into 2 years of prayer meditation actually before I started to see what this is. Why are you bothering me with this? Like I have bills to pay and laundry to fold, and I have things. And the conclusion was to start a team And we come to find out that, especially in Long Island, there's a lot of people. One woman left her house. She was originally sleeping in her driveway. So there are people who can't afford it but are ready to sell their house. It's really sad, so we try to go in and do what we can. We're not miracle workers, but we do what we can.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's why we're here.
Fantastic.
So that's important. Not only the message of helping people, which we try to emphasize whenever we hear it on the show, but also, and we've talked about this too, that I think when the field became so mainstream and appeared almost pedestrian to the PhDs and engineers who had the special club before it became more open to the public, it's important that the people who have the experience, who've been around, which now it includes people like you, Kat, because now you've been in this field for a while, to pass that along, to be that, like you said, ship coffee to the next generation, where our generation maybe didn't have it. You didn't have that, but now you have the opportunity to be that for somebody else with what you've learned. And that's very important.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I actually thought about that. I had a few young girls I spoke to already, young, very young, that were very frustrated. So that's a good point. Yeah, that's a very good point. And if I can do that, I'd be happy to, because you can't leave them frustrated like that. They don't really fully comprehend what's going on and why.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and I went through, like, I actually literally was deemed a normal child. My mother actually knew what this was. So she had a parapsychologist come to the house. So it was confirmed. Yeah. So but in the outside the world, you just shut up and say nothing, because nobody believes you anyway. So it's like pointless.
The other really important thing you said was about helping people. And, I can only think of one show where they actually helped anybody. And as the show went on, that started to go away as well. But that is so important. I mean, everyone's always talking about, helping the spirits. That's just as important. But it's usually right. It's usually the people themselves here and now, the ones that are truly suffering from it. And the more that people can help them understand, help them accommodate to what maybe is happening, or learn to adjust to it, or whatever the case may be. But helping other people is, to me, the key. And I'm so glad to hear that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
It
feels like a calling.
Yeah, it's hard because, when you're young and you're going through stuff like that, right? And then you go to school and you tell kids and teachers and whatever the experiences that you're having or whatever, the first thing they're going to do, is call child services, because that's what they do.
Right. Yeah.
So that's one reason I know of that they tell you don't say anything, because it's just people think you're crazy, or they think that the child is being abused, and that's why they have all these crazy whatever. Like, that's what they do, and so keep it quiet.
That's it. Yeah, I knew better, and I never said a word in school.
Yeah, and it is a shame, because then you don't know how to seek the right help for what you're going through. So
right. What I did is pretty much suppress it and try and be like everybody. Just roll with the flow, and But I would be standing there. Like, I can give you an example when we were kids in the 70s, because I was a 70s kid. So proudly. Spin the Bottle was what we didn't have internet or anything. So Spin the Bottle was like one of the games we played, and we had the same group of kids. We'd sneak off into the woods and stuff, and we had rules. If it landed on your brother, because there were a lot of siblings there, you re-spin.
Good rule.
It was like, and I was like 8 or 7, so it was like a fake kiss. It was like, ew, But it landed on my girlfriend's brother in the woods, and I looked at him, and I saw blood just streaming down his face, like bad, just blood. And of course, I said nothing, not a word. But they were looking at me because I went quiet and didn't kiss him, and they were like, "What's wrong with you? Are you stoned or something?" Like what? I was like, "Oh yeah, no," and I just went on. Later on that day, because I always went to her house Friday for pizza day. She was my next door neighbor. She had wanted to go see a movie, and her parents said no. and he was teasing the life out of her. He was even singing a song, the Roy Orbison song, "Crying Over a Movie," and he just wouldn't stop. Your typical brother. And she got pissed off and took a glass ashtray, smashed through it at his face, and his blood was streaming down his face. That was later on that day, and he had to go to the hospital. I was horrified, but I thought about just 3 hours earlier, seeing that, and I said absolutely nothing, even after the fact. Wow. So I would have those things, and I'd be like, all right, whatever. I must be crazy. I thought I was crazy. Yeah. True story. Wow. His name was Ricky.
That's impactful.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Thanksgiving at my family's house.
Yeah, well, siblings. She got in trouble for that. Yeah.
I hope so.
Well, he was torturing her. I was there. He was torturing her. Like he was a typical older brother. I have one, so I know about this. They do that.
That's crazy.
Just crack them over the head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had ashtrays in the house back then. Remember? I don't know if anybody's.
I was going to say those 70s ashtrays were heavy.
Yeah.
They were heavy.
Facial reconstruction surgery after that one.
Oh, yeah. She flung that thing right at his face. Yeah. She was horrified after the fact, too. I don't think she meant to.
She didn't realize.
Yeah.
Impact
in the moment. Yeah. And I was like, oh, my God. I just sat there. Uh-oh. Yeah.
With your own issues. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Now where do we put our ashes?
Exactly. Very inconvenient. Very inconvenient.
That's a great story. Wow. I mean, very impactful.
Yeah. And there was lots of little, quirks like that, and it went through, and all I did was ignore it. Then I was like, all right, I can't ignore this anymore. This I can't be that crazy, I mean, everyone's a little crazy, but I'm sure I'm a little crazy. But that stuff constantly, when it matches up over and over again, you're just like, all right, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
What can I do with this? Well, now it's working on some cases, so and I'm thankful for that. I'm always thankful. I always pray and say thank you. So, accompanied with the skills of Chris, and he knows a lot about equipment, a lot, he knows what not to use and what to use, and that's making the captures really line up as well, which is big. I think every facet of this field matters. You can't just have a sensitive. You can't just have a tech guy. You can't just have a admin or a moderator. The combination altogether makes this field work. That's what it is. Because back in the day, like I said, if I walked around and said these things, they'd be like, "Yeah, go see a psychiatrist," or if Ron and Chris got together like they do and started speaking in detail about the technical side of this and the scientific side of this, you'd be called conspiracy theorists. But when there's so much proof now that it's kind of hard to deny when you combine all of it. It's just kind of getting really hard to deny. I actually find people who don't believe. I find people who believe that we are the only things of intelligence in existence in this universe. I think they're a little more crazy to think that. Do you really believe that? It's like it's almost arrogant.
It's way arrogant, and to believe that the human race is the most intelligent race out there, you haven't been paying attention to what's going on in the news.
And that's a scary thought, isn't it?
Hey, real quick, I want to point out some of those people that are posting it are Facebook users. We've got T-Dog in the house.
Hey, what's
Chris
up?
Sanders and Nuara's here.
Hey, hi, Chris. Hi, what's up, brother? That's my
Two
brother.
awesome Chris's and a T-Dog.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to let StreamYard show your name. You have to give it permission to do that. Otherwise, you're just going to come up as
Facebook user.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing that. I saw that. Yeah, that's weird.
Chris Sanders is another guy who puts a lot of good stuff out, a lot of passion into the field. He's having us at the Sleepy Hollow Paracon coming up this year. It's cool when the people who put stuff into the field that make it good show up to watch us, and then I do shit like this.
Right.
I'm begging you to bring that on the next investigation when we meet up. Okay, please. Yes, maybe it'll do.
I want you to wear that at the booth at the Gettysburg Bash. Is what I want you to do.
Yeah.
We might show up at that Sleepy Hollow Paracon too. We're going to try and get there. We've been there. We've done investigating there.
It'll be our first time.
Yeah, it'll be our first time.
Oh, it's a cool place. It's a cool place.
We were excited to work with Chris again too. So that's.
Yeah, I will definitely approach Chris when we go there. Absolutely. And when you go through there, there's so much information as you walk around with the history there, which is pretty cool. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey guys, there's an easy way to fix your name not popping up. If you guys go to YouTube and watch it on YouTube, YouTube never blocks your name. You can comment on YouTube. We'll see it every time.
Isn't it incredible that Facebook seems to protect your identity when you don't need it, but when you need it protected, they're out to lunch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we just got kicked. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right.
So got kicked about 20 minutes ago. So
Yeah, you're all saying Facebook user. Just say who you are in the comments.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, guys, we've got some great evidence that Kat sent in. Let's get started. And look at some of it. What do you think?
Of course.
Yes.
You're in it, Ron and Lourdes. You're in one of them.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris
and I
You
did
did a great job.
Yeah, Chris suggested that, and I was like, "That's a great idea," and that was a great thing. It's a great thing. I'm not even going to say when it comes up, it comes up.
Look, you do a great job. You sent us evidence before that you made videos of at events we were at with you, and not only were they presented nicely, but you also, and she can attest to this because she's got a bionic ear. You hear a lot. You really have a good ear for that, not just the clear audience, but the audience.
So I bet I know which one it is, and I'm going to play it first.
Oh,
Tell me if
cool!
I'm right,
Oh,
but don't tell me I'm not going to tell you before.
This was a great thing. I was impressed by what you guys did.
I'm going to go ahead and hit play. We're not going to talk about it till after. Here we go.
Okay. Let's see what it is.
Okay, so the situation here is that Chris and I from the team met up at Kreischer Mansion with a number of great investigators. Anthony Simonelli, his brother, Giuseppe, Ron Iacovetti, Lourdes, April, and Mr. and Mrs. Mary Chudley, and Taryn Kerper. So I believe it was Ron and Anthony, but I could be incorrect, decided to do something called the double Estes method, where two people wear noise-canceling headphones while picking up on the captures from a PSB-7. The biggest objective here is to see whether the two different people correlate what they're hearing. Now, on that note, I am all the way up on the third floor of this mansion, and Giuseppe is all the way in the basement. We cannot hear anything to do with each other. In regards to correlation, check this out.
He killed her.
He killed her.
He killed her at the party?
You need to stop.
Who needs to stop?
I gotta stop. What the fuck?
What did he say? I have to stop.
He said he had to.
No, I think something happened to him because he sounded like he was.
And on that note, I bid you this question. Is it crazier to believe that there are things on the other side, or to believe that we are the sole and only things that exist? Peace and spooky love, y'all.
Wow.
That was cool.
That's a good one.
Very cool.
Yeah. That was
I mean-
fun. Anthony.
Do you remember that? Like it was right after I said, and I felt that too, that you need to stop. That's why I said it like that. I remember feeling like something was like, you need to stop, and I had no idea that he was downstairs saying, I got to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anthony Seminelli loves doing the double Estes like that. And that
I
was
love that.
his teammate from Seekers Club. That was Giuseppe Cardona, who was downstairs at the same time, who said he needed to stop.
Yeah, how crazy is that? The timing on that, though, like you always say, situational awareness. Like, wow, that was a lot of things happened during that test, but that was pretty profound to me. Like, you know, because I didn't know that was happening. Lourdes came up and got me. She said, "We're done. Come down." And I'm here, and everybody's, you know, like raving, and I'm like, "What happened? What happened?" And apparently, he got irked and had to stop. But look at how fast. Right after I said, he can't hear me. I mean, we both know this. You know that, Mansion. You know what, you were there, and he has no idea. I could be saying I saw a clown. Like, he has no idea what I'm saying. And you need to stop. And what is he's like? He said, "Oh, F," or something like that. I got to stop. That was crazy to me. That's paranormal. I'm sorry, but what else could it be? Chris thinks he's not sure, but Chris thinks that Giuseppe heard like a gunshot next to his head is why he stopped. I don't know if that's true. I mean, he thinks he's not sure, but something happened to make him.
Yeah, it's been a while, but
I think he's right. I remember him saying something about that.
Yeah.
Anthony Seminelli's watching. He may remember, and he can chime in if he does.
Yeah, if you remember. Hi, Anthony.
You know what? I think you guys are right. I think Giuseppe told me about that, and he said he heard a gunshot next to his head. I remember him telling me.
Yeah, like he said, it was like, you know, irked him, you know, and it was just, the timing, you know, we were right in line, which is the whole purpose of the test. You guys are great for even doing it. That was because I've done Estes methods, but I've never done a double like that. So that was my first time doing that, and I was blown away.
Yeah, that's Anthony's brainchild, at least as far as we know. We never did it before he did it, and he's done it a couple places where somebody's in the basement, someone's in the attic, main floor in the middle, nobody's connected, can hear each other, and it happened a few times with that same kind of thing. It's crazy,
right? And everybody's listening in the hub where the voices are not with the person doing it.
Yeah, you guys are in the middle listening, so you can hear both sides, but we can't hear each other. Anthony's a huge asset to this field. Huge.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, that was just, you know, I've done a lot of things in this field, but that was the first time I did that, and I said to Chris, "That's genius." I'm like, "That is absolutely genius." And you had them, and you guys were so professional in the middle, just taking note of everything, you know, all of you. It was just very well organized. I loved it.
Anybody?
That's why I love doing the Estes method, because the way Anthony does it, I love the way he does it.
Better. Yeah. It's better. It's better than the regular. It really is.
You have to have that separation of question and answer. You can't, if you just put somebody in headphones and let them say what they hear, that's you find that in the coach section of any 747 in the air at any given time. Someone with headphones just saying shit that they hear in their head. That's not Estes. Estes has to have that separation of Q&A.
It was. I agree 100%. I was never like, when people wanted to do Estes, I wasn't like jumping off the rails. I'm like, all right, you know.
Me too.
It was never my team, you know. It was like somebody else wanted to do it. I'm like, okay, fine if you want, you know. But I was like, okay, fine.
My biggest problem with it is they can repeat what they think they hear, but no one else can hear what they heard or say, "I don't think that was right." Or so when it's just done singly like that, I have concerns with it too, because
I do too. Yeah.
I don't know what you heard and then you think you repeated. I have no idea.
But now you're confirming each other with the double. You're actually confirming each other. It's really crazy. You can't explain that. I like when you can't explain it logically. You know, that's paranormal. That's the definition of paranormal. So it worked out. I'll never stop being impressed with that, and the way that happened that night.
There's a show that uses the Estes session, and I normally don't state my opinion about shows because I don't want to talk crap. But there is a show, and I won't tell you what it is, and I won't tell you who's on. But they use the Estes session all the time, and they will come out with sentences. And then the minute the session is done, they act like they don't remember what they said. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, though I shut those things off. I don't, you know, I'm not one of those people who come in and comment about, you know, and bother people. When I see stuff like that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do the dishes.
Change the channel.
Yeah. You know,
they don't remember anything because I don't know what show you're talking about. But when I do the Estes, I remember some things, not everything. something.
Yeah.
So they never remember anything.
No, the show
Yeah.
I'm referring to, they'll speak sentences and then they'll stop.
I have my magnifying glass so I can
You
see.
said this. Oh, I said that? Come on. See? Yep.
Oh, thank you, Anthony. That's oh, so it is right. Yeah, it was a gunshot. And that's where the guys were killed. Yeah, down there, and they were put in the incinerator.
And
Yeah.
anybody that has ever met Anthony Simonelli, and if you haven't met it, you are missing out. That is one
Yes.
phenomenal dude. I love that dude. He is so fucking cool.
He's a great.
Yeah,
He's a great dude.
yeah. I can't wait to work with him again. He's just so creative in this field. He knows, but like he's always coming up with, these things that make it very, very tough to debunk. And he's a great guy. He's a great guy to be around. He really is. So
Yeah, he is. He's open to anybody. You want to do this method, you want to try that. He's easy to work with.
Yeah. His brother too. His brother like him. Yeah. So that was great.
Fair with him, he's fair with you.
He's unblushing.
Hey, and we're both Italian, so it works.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm only
that is one man anybody ever talks bad about, and they're gonna have to deal with me, and that's not a good thing. So
gonna have to deal with a lot of us.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some more of Kat's evidence. Next one is Mount Misery.
Oh,
you ready? Here we go.
Do you think he deserves the death sentence?
Fuck you. That wasn't very nice.
That's not very nice.
The second one sounded like Giuseppe.
That was I put that in there because I've had this experience before. The energy, it's not only deceased people, the energy of the living can show up. It actually happened to me on case 6. I kept describing this woman, she was just a nasty, nasty woman. And I had a friend who knew the family, he was allowed to know about it. He was friends with the family. And he says, so what'd you get? And I said, I was naming a few things. And then I named this nasty woman. And he kind of sarcastically, like I said, nobody believes us, he kind of said, oh, well, Kat, she's alive. And I was like, yeah, so you can actually, and he looked at me. I'm like, yeah, that's not nothing new in this field. Sometimes people leave their, they can do a lot of things to leave their energy there. I said, she did not help the situation, dead or alive. So in this case, we didn't know this at the time. This was back when we were still, trying to even getting involved with police and everything and finding out what happened. But I was referring to the person who did this horrible thing to this little girl. It turns out it's very possible that he is alive. He's old, but he's alive. And there are, I believe, dark energies that like to keep this injustice going. So that's why I asked that question. And usually when I ask questions like that over there, I get those type of responses.
Wow.
Very rude, very rude.
Yeah. I like that it echoed.
Yeah.
F you, F you, F you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And Paranoir, I told him it wasn't nice too. Right?
What's
Paranoir, I told him, Chris Paranoir said it wasn't nice.
Yes, he did. Yeah. It's very rude. I think he's right. But he's used to that, or when we start going into prayer, sometimes we'll get nice things, but we also get a lot of filthy language, and so
I've said it before and I'll say it again: an asshole in life, an asshole in death.
Bingo.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, next one we got up is the Luke Gully crucifix.
Crucifix is the name of a person that was there.
Okay.
We call him CC, but his name is Crucifix Padilla. So it was Luke Gully, Crucifix Padilla, and myself on this one. Yeah.
All right.
That's a nice name.
So it's just Luke Gully then.
Luke Gully,
Was the
is his
location?
first and last name, and then Crucifix Padilla is the other person.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're at Penhurst.
Okay. Here you go.
Ah.
All right. Here we go.
Sorry to ask you this, but were you mistreated here? Yes, you.
Yeah? Were you neglected? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Wow.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. That's not right. That's not right.
Let me tell you something right now. You all are equal to every human out there.
That's correct.
You deserve to be treated fairly.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was pretty cool. So let me ask a question. I'm assuming whatever device was being used had echo on it. They weren't repeating it 2 or 3 times, right? That was echo.
No, actually, that device is from John Huntington. That's a I can go get it if you want to see it. It's just a radio. It's just
I was just curious if they installed, because it sounded like the responses were repeating. Did anyone else hear that, or was that just me?
I heard it.
There
Yeah, I
it's
heard
probably it's our voice. It's probably the hallway that we were in. You know, there's echoing in there, so that could do it. But yeah, that device isn't known to echo itself. I can go. Want me to go get it?
No, that's okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, it's just one of John Huntington makes equipment. You know, and it's like the channeled. Chris, if Chris is here, he can name what it is. I'm not good at that, but it's just a radio. You know that flutters through the channel, and
Right.
that's really all it is. But it works. I've gotten a lot of evidence with that radio. So, yeah. So
He says no echo. So can you just play that one more time, Chris? I just want to, because just listen to the responses, because it sounds like maybe it's the room.
oh no, I'm repeating it so you can hear it. I play it twice. I don't know if you know that. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I didn't. That's what I okay.
Okay. People. I do that for the lay people who aren't in the field. You know, because they don't catch. Catch. It goes by them really fast. I always get that. They never catch.
Perfect sense then. Okay.
Yeah, you'll see me do that a lot. Sometimes I play it. I always play it in the regular first, just the way it came out, and then I'll play it louder. And sometimes I'll even slow it down. And I do that for the laymen. Sure. You know, sure. They don't know anything about this field, so it's hard for them to even grasp what they're looking at. You know, I get this a lot where I work. They're like, "What am I looking at?" I'm like, "Okay, you first of all don't watch this in a bar, because that's bar and grill. That's futile. You know, like, what are we doing here?" And second of all, go home. I repeated the captures for you, so that's what you're hearing. I apologize. I didn't.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. We've done that before, and then plus you can tell the sweep didn't have any echo or reverb to it.
No, it's just the radio.
It was very clean.
Yeah, it's just a hacked radio.
Especially
very
that's
clean.
the mommy, the little girl.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
we've got a couple people asking to hear it again, so let's go ahead and play it again. Here we go.
Sorry to ask you this, but were you mistreated here? Yes, you.
Yeah? Were you neglected? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Wow.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. That's not right. That's not right.
Let me tell you something right now. You all are equal to every human out there.
That's correct.
You deserve to be treated fairly.
So I'm trying to figure out at the end of the hallway of the shadows, it almost looks like there's a shadow moving around, or if it's the dust particles causing a pixelation on the screen or not.
That's why I didn't mark it, because the dust was very prominent there, and I saw what you saw. I saw that a lot, and I'm still actually working on part 2 to that. I'm going to be doing part 2 to that video, and I even mentioned it in the full video. That I just threw everything out because of all the dust. But you are correct. There's a lot of shadowing. If I catch something that's undeniable, I'll put it in. But right now it's got question because of the dust. That damn dust. Yeah, so I have to leave it. But what really got me in that one is the I believe it's the REM pod. The way it just went as soon as I said, "Were you neglected?" It just held steady, and it was kind of heartbreaking, to be honest. Yeah.
That's one of the techniques that I like about your team too, is that you guys use multiple equipment plus your abilities, combine the 3, and then you talk about timing, relevance, and response.
Thanks.
That the equipment going off at the same time that you're catching the EVPs on the sweep. That's perfect investigating right there. Is what that is.
Thank you.
Yeah, anytime you can get multiple equipment to reinforce what another piece is doing, that's always a plus. So great job.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Part 1 is up to that. I'm working on part 2 now, and I remember how active. So I don't even know what I'm gonna hear. It's still going.
And kudos on the discernment with the shadowing stuff and saying that it's still in question and looking into it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think some people would just throw it out there and go, "Look at that," and you're like, "Well, maybe."
Yeah.
Yeah, the dust really threw me off. I mean, it is just dusty in there. It's just, and you all know, because you're all amazing investigators, that when we were in the dark, that was night vision. That was like a night light. What are they called? And you know how it makes the dust glow.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And some of it did actually move in strange motions, but I couldn't do anything with it. It was just,
you can't discern it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a pile of actual dust. So
Yeah.
And Penhurst is this huge, cavernous, abandoned, multi-building, multi-acre facility that hasn't seen a cleaning crew in, I don't know, forever.
I know. I had a dream about sweeping and mopping in there.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
The only thing sweeping in there was Noira's clock.
The more scary part of that is they used asbestos and lead-based paint in that shit.
Right. Well, we went to school at that, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, an amazing location, but yeah, that is for Chris's forte of situational awareness. Kat knows the environment she was in, and that's why she's going, all right, the shadowing thing, maybe. Let's see what else there is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because if they mopped,
yeah.
Yeah, get a little Fabuloso in there.
We need Fabuloso.
You can't tell me you didn't get a shot back somewhere in this son of a bitch. Come on.
Shout out, by the way, to Pasadena Paranormal watching. It's very cool that they showed up.
Jared, what's up, Pasadena Paranormal? I love those guys. We're going to meet up with them, too.
More great people keep showing up. That's very cool.
100%. Yeah, I love them. They get a lot of crazy captures themselves. Yeah.
Okay. In about 7 minutes, UNX is going to switch over to their next audio program, but we're going to continue live on Facebook and YouTube. We've got 4 more clips to show of cats. Don't go anywhere. Sorry, UNX. We love you, but our show's way cool. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever encourage these spirits to move forward? Oh, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know any investigators out there or sensitives or even people that aren't sensitive that when they think they're picking up a spirit, don't ask them to come forward and give us more. Because that's why we're there, right? Is to try and communicate.
Yeah. And also, my main question is, are you okay? Like, why are you here? Is this for good reasons? Because if it's not, everybody has their different methods. Mine is, I'm going to pray for you, because they're not, we get a lot of helps. Help. We get, I could do a whole hour-long video on helps, so that's another biggie. But yeah, like it's easier to help when you know what's going on. Why is this going on? Why why is there more activity in one place than there is another? What happened to make this happen? And sometimes it's not always human. I believe in more than just human spirit. So
Yep.
I mean, I've seen things at Mount Misery, even at the Hinsdale house on the first day. We saw something that I can't explain. Letchworth, we saw something in one of the dorms that, it disappeared. And what we heard was something that sounded like hooves on the top of the roof, to the point where I went outside and walked all around to try and see if there was like construction near the place or something, but that's not what it sounded like. But of course, naturally, you try and debunk. So I don't think everything is human. The Native Americans said it, and they're pretty on point with everything they say in the spirit world. And yeah, so who knows what it is? But either way, you need to know what you're dealing with, right? So how else are you going to know?
Right.
But to say, hey, what's going on? Who are you? What are you?
And it's not like they communicate in full sentences or paragraphs either. So all those helps that you're getting, we don't know if they're communicating with us, who they're communicating with. I mean, Tony, Ron, and Lourdes, and Cherie, when they communicate with their Statacom, you don't know. You can't tell half the time if they're talking amongst themselves, to each other, or trying to communicate to you. So
I think it's all three.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's all three. I think it's because there's an opening when we're doing this, and everything's coming through. So you have to try and decipher.
Yep.
What's the most prominent coming your way that that really wants to get through, because it's there's a bunch of stuff going on, and it can get crazy. Lourdes, you Ron, you guys know where it's like, okay, what's my purpose here? Because I hear you all. What do I have one here? Do you need any? What can I help you? What?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not alone. Put it that way. Clearly.
And then if they communicated clearly so we could understand what they were trying to say, this show would be boring.
Yeah, I mean, they're working hard to come through. So you have to do your homework too. That we have to do our homework too, because I'm sure it's not easy to come through. And we all have evidence of that. So
yeah.
Sure
So the next piece we got, Kat, is Letchworth Village.
Ah.
Right, so here we go.
On this date, we were to do yet another investigation at Letchworth Village with Jason and Dawn from Beyond the Grave.
Okay, so I'm going to read the drawers.
This time, Chris hadn't been there yet, so I was with Jason, Dawn, and a girlfriend of theirs. We had discovered this new room because this isn't the hospital we're usually in. There's a whole other one on the other side. The ground was really, really wet and deep with water. I had the boots to walk up ahead and explore this area and make sure it was safe. So that's what I was doing. Now, they were quite a distance from me, and you're going to see that in a minute. I'll even put a still photo in before I show you this. But what I always say is that there's whispers every time I go there before I put any equipment on. So check this out and tell me what you hear.
Yeah. So I didn't have to get all disgusting.
Yep.
Can you hear that? Yeah. I know not
yeah.
everyone. Yeah. That's for the paranormal investigators. The layperson's going to go right past it. But I mean, usually, or maybe they won't. I don't know. But that's one of the lower ones.
Our dog went nuts when that voice came through on the EVP. So
Really?
Oh, wow. Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like the second one is like underneath. I think somebody else is talking in the background, but you can hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's right up on me. And I am literally by myself. over there. Like I'm far away from I shouldn't hear anything up and close. So there's nothing. It's just me.
So I want to try an interesting experiment. So we talk about, we get them at high, low frequencies, we get them at different speeds, but this is almost, now we're getting it at different decibels if the dog's hearing it. So let's play it again, see if the dog does the same thing.
All right.
Want to try it?
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
On this date, we were to do yet another investigation at Letchworth Village with Jason and Dawn from Beyond the Grave.
Okay, so I'm going to read the drawers.
This time, Chris hadn't been there yet, so I was with Jason, Dawn, and a girlfriend of theirs. We had discovered this new room because this isn't the hospital we're usually in. There's a whole other one on the other side. The ground was really, really wet and deep with water. I had the boots to walk up ahead and explore this area and make sure it was safe. So that's what I was doing. Now, they were quite a distance from me, and you're going to see that in a minute. I'll even put a still photo in before I show you this. But what I always say is that there's whispers every time I go there before I put any equipment on. So check this out and tell me what you hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't have to get all disgusting.
Yeah, I heard that.
Dog left the room, so must have scared him. He
Come
wasn't
on,
here
really?
the second time.
Oh, he left.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
And we don't take them on investigations, damn it.
He left with a suitcase and a fedora.
A
Yeah.
suitcase and a fedora with a cigar out of singing as a side.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was them saying don't speak, like don't let them hear you, like I'm curious, what that was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely heard that.
I can't.
World's largest contact lens.
I know. I can't see. If I put my glasses on there for reading, so then you guys will look all weird to me. So I would be putting them on and off, on and off, on and off, and I can't do those bifocal things. They give me a headache. So
Yeah, me too.
yeah, I can't with those things. Yeah, they give me. I give your wife much love and much sympathy because I suffer migraines too, and boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, so I won't put bifocals on. I don't need a migraine.
Yeah.
Well, the 2-inch thick pollen here in North Carolina doesn't help either.
Inspector Cat.
Yeah.
Song in my head. Thanks, Jack.
Mine are just for reading. These are just for reading. But I see I can't read, so they don't bother me.
Oh, look at that.
See, I had LASIK. This one's for distance. This one's for reading. Wait, no, distance reading. Here we go.
Oh, you're gonna give yourself a headache doing that. Come on.
I had it done over a year ago.
Wink? Do you like wink a lot?
Yeah, you'll see me if you see me turn like this.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to focus more with my close eye than I am with my distance eyes.
That's clever because people will think you're weird if you're like.
They think I'm weird anymore. They know I'm weird. They know I'm weird. We're good.
Well, when we first met, he used to wear the reading glasses. And when we would talk, I'm like, you sure you can see me? Do you even know what I look like?
right. Yeah. Hey, Martha there. Hey, baby.
All right, we've got 3 more clips. Want to make sure we get them all in here. So the next one is Anna's Bordello.
Ooh, yes. You guys were there.
All right, Here we go.
It's just beautiful here. It's also very haunted, so we're going in. Hi. Who's
Anna or Maddie?
Anna? Did you hear that? That said Anna.
So what are you doing up so late, Anna? You still working?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Okay. That's how you had to work really late? Hi, Dotry.
Right.
Right. Wow. So how late did they make you work to? Did you get to go to bed? But we just got some pretty direct responses from a spirit named Anna.
Wow, that's good.
That was good.
So did you guys
I like
notice
that.
when she asked if Anna was still working before she said yeah, did you hear the two male moans right before that?
Did I mark it? Maybe you're catching something.
You didn't mark it.
I didn't mark it. Oh.
Right before she replies yeah, you hear two male moans.
Really? Oh, ew. Really?
Yeah.
They can be really. I mean, believe it or not, there was. I don't have them. I'll look for them. But Jason and Chris got almost hit on, or propositioned, but with some captures in there. They can be really fresh in the hotel.
You don't walk in with cash in your pocket.
Yeah, that's what they said. I have cash. I have cash. And somebody pulled $1 out, and I was like, $1? Really? That's insulting.
Yeah. $1.
Yeah.
They did say we're naked. It's true.
It's amateur night at the strip club.
Yeah. So you heard two male? I didn't hear two. Maybe you're catching. I don't catch everything.
Let's do it again.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can skip the intros and all that. I'm not offended.
No, I
by
can't. StreamYard won't.
Oh darn. Okay.
But here we go. Right when you say, Anna, are you still working? Right before she says, yeah, there's two male moans.
Okay, I'm
And
gonna
it's
listen.
not like a pain moan. So
Oh,
that's all I'm gonna- yeah, so listen close.
It's just beautiful here. It's also very haunted, so we'll go in it. Hi. Who's
Anna or Maddie?
Anna? Did you hear that? That said Anna. So what are you doing up so late, Anna? You still working?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Okay. That's how you had to work really late? Hi, Dotry.
Right.
Right. Wow. So how late did they make you work to? Did you get to go to bed? But we just got some pretty direct responses from a spirit named Anna.
Wow.
You hear it?
Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, props
Yeah.
to Chris.
Yeah.
I missed that. I missed the boat on that. And am I the only one? You see how I corrected myself in there, where I thought I heard? Am I the only one who on the scene? It's actually harder to hear on the scene than it is when you go home and do the review. Is that just me?
That happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess all this echoing in your ear after a while. That's Chris's intercom box, by the way.
Yeah, that's one of Jay Prather's boxes. It's right. It runs really quiet.
Yeah.
It's a good box, and Chris is very successful with that box.
Oh my God, he's scary sometimes, creepy sometimes. Like, yeah, that box is, yeah, and it loves Chris. It's like he has a relationship with it or something.
It's weird stuff, 'cause in Kreischer Mansion, I think we got with his direct link, we got a masturbating, right? It was,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was masturbating.
Yeah.
So yeah, he has a special relationship with his direct link.
Come on. It's crazy.
Wow. Pornographic awareness. There you go.
So T-Dog says, yeah, they were all naked and moaning. So for everybody
Pretty
watching,
much.
Tim
Pretty
Comer
much.
caught it too.
It is the Cordello, so yeah.
Yeah.
We slept. He slept in the. I think. I slept in Maggie's room. I think her name is Maggie, and he was in the room next to me. And in the morning, he comes out, and I yelled at him like, "Dude, why you gotta bang around like that when you wake up?" He's like, "Cat, I just woke up."
Wow.
Because Chris is like a brother to me, so we yell at each other sometimes. I'm like, "You're so damn noisy." It's like we were investigated all night. It's like 6:30 in the morning. All I hear is bang, 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 and I'm like, and we're the only ones on that side. Dawn and Jason were on the entire other side of the. You know how big that place is, and he's like, "No, I just woke up. I don't know what you're talking about." So I don't know what the hell is going on, but
That's Chris right there.
oh, is it?
Yeah, he said, "I told you not to tell anybody about that."
He's talking to you, Ron.
Perhaps. Yeah, we had a blast with him.
Yeah, we got to do it again. T-Dog wants to go to Croatia badly. He's like his other hobby is studying the mob. So.
Oh, okay, that'd be a great place for him.
We know a guy named Stefanelli.
He has a second love from the paranormal. He has this whole thing on mobsters. So Croatia is like ideal for him.
Yeah, not only the house, but the woods around it. The place is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and haunted. Definitely haunted.
Yeah, definitely haunted.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Well,
definitely.
I don't know if I could go into a haunted location.
Giuseppe and I were running.
Really, Tony?
Giuseppe and I were running direct radio voice on the second floor in the bar area. And Intuitive April was with us, and it goes, "Bring April, go to the basement." And Giuseppe goes, Stop it right now. We have to play that back. Stop it right now.
Wow. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. April was doing some private sessions there too. She was doing her thing. Yeah, she was downstairs in the basement with someone, and I don't know what she did. I'd love to see that. Yeah, because she's I actually didn't. We had a whole session at Penhurst, and I haven't gone over that yet, but I'm going to. And yeah, she was very good. Yeah, of course she. Yeah, she's not just a psychic. She's an investigator. She knows how to investigate. Like she knows her stuff. So we did a whole session. Yeah. I like working with her.
All right, we got two more.
Yep.
So the next one's emergency residential. So here we go.
What can I do for you? Why did you come here?
A couple of times, I thought I saw that antenna moving, but I'll let you be the judge.
What can I do for you?
Wow.
Now, I don't know if you were able to read the beginning, but what started this case was that the mother, she even had a bruise on her. She had a mark on her face. She was hit and pushed by this. And if you look, it says step, face, everything in there, help, which we're there to do, and then they're saying, pray for them, because we are obviously, every team has their own thing. We are a prayer team. So that, so like it all, and that's the same box that you just saw at Penhurst. That's the same one.
Wow.
I think the sweep was a little extra in that one, but that's the same exact box.
Well, and the consistency of the voice too. It was the same voice over and over again. So you're communicating with one.
Yeah.
It's not like you're picking up multiple voices That voice was repeating itself. It was the same tonality and everything. So that was amazing.
I mean, talk about applying directly to why we were there. I mean, and of course, when you're there, you don't hear all that, so you have to go over it. And I just thought that was great.
Yeah.
We're still on that case, Some of these cases take a long time, That's the same case where you saw Courtney when she was on last week in the bedroom with the recorder.
Yeah.
That's the same house, same case.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's we're still dealing with that because there is a 13-year-old involved. So we're not going to stop. And it just happens to be this isn't why this is happening because there's other we're doing some deep diving, but it is right behind a funeral home. You can actually see it over the fence. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That doesn't help, is all I'm saying. It doesn't help. So yeah. Well,
we've got one last clip that Kat brought to us. This one's called The Ball, the Bitch, and the Bar.
Martha, I hope you're still here. Because yeah.
So this one ought to be interesting. I didn't get a chance to watch this one. So this is a 3-minute clip. So I expected some good shit. So here we go.
Eyewitness testimonies from multiple customers, experience with the employees, experience with Martha and myself. We have a spirit of feminine origin that is just not very friendly. Now, we have plenty of other things going on here, and I didn't edit the whole video or the whole session. But since the reports of her activity is so strong, I've seen the garbage shake. A customer had her phone flipped over the lip of the bar and broken. She had to buy a new phone. A bartender had her hair flipped when she was closing out for the night. I could go on and on. People hear her in the bathroom, and there's no one there. It's just crazy. So Martha and I were getting a lot of reports about the activity rising. She does a lot of other things too. So what I did here to make this short is just show you the activity with the touch sensor ball. A lot of it is her. You will hear other things going on, but most of this is her. Check this out.
We see a lot of black shadows. Hello. Hey. What's doing? Hello. Wow. What?
Why the bathroom?
Yes. You see what I'm doing, right?
There's always distractions. This has happened so many times, including the coughing, right when I'm about to read scripture.
And I am convinced that nothing can ever separate us from God's love. Neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither our fears for today or our worries. Okay, so speak your last words because we're going to pray that you go into the light and stop hanging out at the bar and go to a better place. Okay, there you go.
She's not liking that.
I know, you should hear the noise behind me, man. But what's going on behind my back? I feel like I put my jacket on because it's like...
It's cold. It's like that.
Yeah, and it's like snow. It's like a presence. You need to go to the light now. Okay? This again, man. She's creepy. She's creepy. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with her? What is with you? Why are you so angry? You have to be nice. Guys, we know who this female is a long time ago. You can see the direct responses. She is stubborn. She's very stubborn.
Wow.
That was cool.
That's really cool. That's a lot.
That is a ton.
Yeah. And every type of touch sensor. You know, I have lights by the door. You know, that's just a piece of it. Was flipping on and off, and we do have captures of her saying, "I'll fight you." Like she is. I don't know what got this spirit stuck there. Yeah, there's Martha. Martha knows all about her. Martha's the civil one. She does the same thing with spirit that she does with her people. You know, she's like the mother there, and she tries to say, you know, you got to be nice. You got to be. You know, and sometimes I'm just like, get this bitch out of here. The you know, Rebecca. I don't know if she's here, but she's a friend of ours. Courtney knows. She's investigated there. This girl's phone right in front of people was flipped up over the bar, and she now. And she had to buy a new phone. But what's funny is I always kind of feel her when people are happy, like trying to rain on their parade, you know. And Rebecca is one of the happiest. She'll just walk in a room if you're in a bad mood and just bright. She's just a bright light of sunshine, you know. And I was like, of course it went for Rebecca. Of course it went for her, you know. You can't make this girl miserable if you try, you know. She just laughs it off, and you know, and you know, I don't know what to do with this one. This is a stubborn one. I'm questioning whether she's just plain evil, you know, like it's a very bitter type of spirit. You know, we've been dealing with her for a very, very long time. Everybody in there has had encounter, especially in that bathroom. You know, they'll think somebody else is in the other stall, you know, and they'll come out and no one's there. So we don't know if she was nice, you know, and there are that place is riddled. But wow. I had a couple was in there, and I see them once in a while. They're like really civil and easygoing, and I kind of felt like she was around, and all of a sudden they started fighting over nothing. Like they were, and it was getting. I had to tell them to calm down, you know, in a public place, you know. And right before that happened, I felt her around. And this is a very in sync couple that, you know, they're just pretty mellow usually. And I was like, and under my breath, I was like, "You dirty," you know, because I kind of I think she influences things like that, or kind of likes it, you know. Debbie Downer doesn't want you. Then if I'm not happy, you can't be. That's kind of the vibe that you'll probably see in the feed, the girls, because they know all about her. It's not just me, you know. But you can see how feisty she is. You know, she's a feisty one.
And that's a bar?
That's where I work and Martha owns. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And T-Dogs when he came to New York, he did a little investigating there with us. But we've investigated the place about 5 or 6 times already. I got permission from I got an in, you know. Yeah, we wait for the place to close and then just go in once in a while. We're probably going to do it again in July. I spoke to Martha.
That's cool.
Cool.
There's black shadows in there. We have like, you know, like you hear the door open and somebody walking in, you know, and it's customers too. They look over to see, hey, who's coming in? No one's there. I run to the back when that happens and open the back door to try and debunk it. And it's like crickets. There's no, I don't.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sounds like a great place.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, if you're ever in town, you know. Yeah, it's active. But and then, you know, there's some people who have no connection. They're okay there. But then I have other customers saying, somebody just talked in my ear, and you know, and there's no one. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. You're safe. It's good. You know?
All right, Kat, well, we have reached the point in the show that we call shameless plugs. Tell us where Trinity's going to be, where they can find you, where they can look up your evidence, website, Facebook pages, you name it.
Shameless plug. We are at the evidence. If you just want straight evidence from Trinity, most of it's on YouTube at Trinity Paranormal Investigations of Long Island. That's where you're going to find, you know, everything we have put up. Instagram just started also same thing. So pretty much Facebook, Instagram, but primarily YouTube. That would be where you'll see the shorts and the videos and the, you know, two and three parters and all that. So, yeah.
There we go. Courtney just. There it is.
Oh, look at that. Perfect.
Oh, thank you, Courtney.
Perfect.
Yeah, easy to find.
That's awesome. Oops. Sorry. Sherry.
And if anybody needed help, where would they contact you? Is that like, where would they contact you if they needed help?
What they do, what I always say to do that is that's it. Courtney takes the messages. So I just to message, you know, hit her up in Messenger, and she relays it to the team. That's what she does. We've done it before that way. So
that's Courtney Peterson, right? Peterson?
Yeah.
That Courtney?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Courtney Peterson. Yeah. Yeah.
We've seen her before.
You know her.
Yeah.
So who here lives in Jersey? Of you guys? Okay, because we may potentially, you know, it's on the girl's on hold now because she said it went quiet, but we may potentially have a residential in South Jersey. So if so, I'll give you guys a call.
Yeah. Let us know if we can be of any help. We'd love to do it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I'll give you the details on the side because you know it's private investigation. But yeah, she's having problems. I can tell you stuff is flying off her dresses. So
wow.
But,
awesome.
So yeah, and she has seen a full figure in her house. So yeah, and a little bad luck to go with that. So yeah. But
did someone just whisper? I heard a male voice just now.
No.
No one's in the room with you, Pat?
Oh, it happens all the time. I'll go back over it and I'll see if we can confirm. It happens all the time with me. It happens in my narration. So.
It repeated what you said. Now I forgot what you said, but you said something and it repeated the last 3 or 4 words of what you said. It was a male voice.
I heard
it.
I'm going to stamp mark it. I'm going to go back and stamp mark it because Courtney will tell you, Martha will tell you that happens a lot. I try to do narration. You see the little narrations in the videos? Sometimes I go back and I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, get out of my house right now. I'm not, leave me alone.
It repeated the last 3 words of your sentence. I forgot what you said. And it just repeated it. It was a male voice. So I thought it was like if someone was just like, if someone was investigating with you and was there in the room and just repeated it because it's true.
I live alone. I don't even have pets. So.
I wonder what. I guess let's see. I guess we'll see.
Oh, we will see, and you'll be the first because you have a good ear for stuff like that.
And it wouldn't be the first time that shit happened on the show.
It does. Yeah, like when we were at Croatia, you were just hearing it. You know, I saw that. I hear on the scene, but I'm better when I go over it and more on feeling. But you and Chris Nuora, right there, you know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, so
sometimes I'm wrong, but
we all are. It's confusing sometimes. We all are, but you're quick on that. A lot of times you're right.
Yeah, Larry has a great ear for that.
Yep.
Great ear for that.
Yeah, right? It's crazy.
Now I'm blushing.
No, I can't even just say it from watching your videos. I saw it firsthand right next to you. So, you know, I was like, wow, and you and Nuora, I should put you two in a room just with something going because he hears like that too on the scene. And I'm like, you know, I get it right. Sometimes, you know, on the scene, you know, the audio, and then other times I go back over it and if you look at some of my videos, I'm like, no cat, and I make the stupid emoji face, like no wah wah, you know. I'm not ashamed to correct myself right on the video, you know. I just put it as is, you know. So yeah.
All right, EVP.
I'm better in spirit than
All right, Ron and Lourdes, you guys got anything coming up?
Yeah, we're looking to book with Dan, so we're looking to go back to the Hinsdale House probably August or September. I may or may not be going to Brushy Mountain to meet up with Tim. I'm trying, you know, to get everything in order with work and such. But that's definitely a maybe. What am I missing, Courtney? Because I know there's something. We're going back to the Hinsdale on this girl, and just to let you know where we're up to with her is We got pretty much everything. We're just contemplating whether we should speak to the family or not. I don't want to open up old wounds. But their girl has been reaching out to us for 4 years now.
Wow.
And we have some hard evidence on that injustice.
Wow.
Courtney did find out that one of the family members is still puts her every once in a while as her profile, the girl's face, her sister's face. So they haven't gotten over it, which I knew, but it should, the question is, like, I'd ask your opinion. Do I reach out to this family with all the evidence we have, or do I just leave it alone? Because she wants justice, and this person was not charged, and we're very suspicious that he might be alive. It's catch-22. It's a catch. That's where we're at right now. What would you do? Like, it's so hard.
Wow.
That's a hard one.
It really
is a hard one.
Yeah. So that's where we've been delaying a little, trying to like gather and figure out, should we do this? Is it going to be a problem? Should we leave it alone? Definitely Spirit wants justice. That's I can prove that over and over. We have so much evidence of that. He's been charged with something else, but nothing this profound, where he deserves to be charged with it. This is not human what he did. So yeah. So I don't know what do you do?
I am going to wish you luck with that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because I don't know, that's a hard one.
Right.
It is, but that's pretty much it. Unless I'm forgetting something.
Tony, you got anything coming up?
Yeah, actually, we got an invitation to, I guess, a private investigation in a place I've been wanting to go for quite a while, which is Clifton, Arizona. And there's some crazy stuff happening to this individual, and we got invited to come take a look. So we don't have a date yet, but we're really looking forward to it.
Wow.
Ooh, Clifton's it's a pretty haunted town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
you better tag me on that, guys. I want to see that.
All right.
Hopefully.
Ron and Lourdes, you got anything coming up?
Not this weekend, right now.
This weekend, no. We're going to Charlotte.
Yes.
Ooh.
Sorry.
So for everybody wondering what's happening, if you weren't in tune last week, in 2 weeks from Friday, the EVPE crew for the first time will be together in Charlotte, in Chris and Audra's house, and all 6 of us will be investigating the Montgomery house, the 1830 plantation.
Yeah,
the
first time.
1830 plantation home that Audra and I control for the Montgomery County Historical Society, and they know that we're coming, so we are in.
Nice.
We're locked.
What are the claims there? Are there any? Do you know anything about the claims?
Well, we've done multiple investigations there. There is a 5-year-old servant boy that's still on the property. Mrs. Montgomery still's at the house.
Oh.
And one of the crews that investigated, PPI2, who watches very often, actually caught a picture of a Civil War soldier standing in the dining room, which used to be the courtroom for Montgomery County. And I got confirmation back from the Montgomery County Historical Society that one of the sons actually died in the Civil War.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So everybody stay tuned, because I guarantee you there will be a live event coming out of the Montgomery house that night. So
Wow.
That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you cannot wait.
I forgot to tell you, we are going to soon do a little drive-by by the Amityville house again. We do that like once a year. So
Very cool.
Drive by like.
You can only do, you only have a few minutes. There's a lot of rules over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a quick.
If I'm not mistaken, the house is now owned by the state, correct?
No.
No, I think it's a
private
family.
residential.
It's private
It's
Yeah.
private residential. There's no parking zones all up and
No.
down. They did everything they could. They tried to change the name of the block, and everybody in Long Island knows. We knew of the family.
Did the Fayos?
Yeah,
That's-
yeah, we knew the bar. He went like that's like 25 minutes for me. It was 5 minutes from Chris and Martha. So we grew up around this. So you can't really, deny it. But this is a very ritzy area. You're talking about all the harbor, and they don't want the traffic or anything like that. So we will be able to like park and do a quick session by the harbor or across the street from the house, but you can't get in.
So I want to show that again. Here you go, Kat. This is the last group that investigated that plantation house. So
let me
Scott
see.
with Piedmont Paranormal. We're wrapping up evidence review of the Montgomery house now. We've got way more than just the soldiers.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
you're all going to be together.
All six
For the
of us.
first time.
First time.
Yeah, all 6 of us.
That's epic. That's a big deal. That's a
It
big
is.
deal.
We're looking forward to it.
I am too. When is this again?
The weekend of May 19th. The 20th is the night we're doing the investigation. So
What night does that fall on?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. I'm not okay. Yeah. I definitely. Please tag me in that, Cherie. Lourdes,
We
please.
will, of course.
I am so happy for you.
Yeah, we're
Aw.
excited.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's gonna be and you guys are, I mean, all of you just get killer evidence, so I'm gonna be excited to see this. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you never don't. So
This is a truly active location that the Montgomery County Historical Society didn't think it was until we started doing investigations there, and we've caught a lot. So
yeah, they don't show up for that's a funny thing that you said that, Chris, because there's nothing I can't stand more than a team, and I'm sorry, it's like I going to a place and saying, well, we went there, it's not haunted. How many times have you seen that? Be honest.
you know what I usually say to them, Kat? Maybe they didn't like you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we went there and we didn't get any evidence. That's all they should say. Okay, because just because you didn't get any evidence doesn't mean it isn't haunted. Spirit knows intention. Spirit, sometimes it's like the Hinsdale house. They tell you straight up. Sometimes they go quiet, and sometimes they're all in your face. It's also up to them. We don't rule them.
Nope.
Right.
So,
Free will.
yeah, I could even go to a place and say, oh, it wasn't that active, and go back there a second time and be like, holy shit, So I think that's not the right thing to say for you to definitively determine because you were there and it wasn't active that the place just isn't haunted.
Yep.
I
So,
agree.
Come on.
All right. I want to reach out to everybody and thank you for tuning in again this week. We appreciate you guys showing up every week. We love each and every one of you. Thank you, Kat. You brought in a ton of people. Thank you for bringing in the show. Thank you for your great evidence. Thank you for being here again. We really enjoy every time that you're on the show with us.
I love you guys. My pleasure.
You too,
Yeah,
Kat.
great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Remember, guys, we will be on again next week. Same time, same channel, same people. Again, I apologize, but that's just how it's going to. And maybe Ron will wear his hat. There you go. There's Ron's new hat.
Yeah.
Now, remember, guys, if you want to
Rathmacon.
Rathmacon. Hold up a toaster, you get multiple voices. Remember, guys, if you want to see evidence where a male moans right before the lady of the night tells you she's still working,
I'm going to go back in there. Yeah.
you got to watch Trinity Paranormal. You got to watch Kat. Most of all, you got to watch EVPE because we're the show that has it. And most of all, you got to stay haunted. Have a good night. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Can you give me a name? What's your name?